friend, it's Pat Sloan here. So what makes autumn cozy? What? Think about it. What do we make? Quilts. I had to put quilts as our last theme for Autumn Wonders. And so we're on the last block, and here it is. I'll show you the bigger one. Here we go. You can see that better, right? Here we go. Here's the bigger version of it. And so that will be anchoring down here for mine. So I am pretty excited. Let me see. So I gotta move that over there. So there we go. I will be focusing on a little bit of the beige background, or the kind of gray, light gray background. So let's go look at fabric options on the other side of the table. Let's take a look at the fabric. The last block is always exciting. You already have a plan because you have so many blocks done. So your last block is a helper. It just kind of pulls in the colors you need to bring down to that area of the block, or not. You could always move your blocks around if you haven't sewn them. But of course, I now have so many sewn that it just needs to work in that position. And so keep the block over there. So this is going to be the background. I'm using that sort of gray, and that is here. That is just in these spots here. That's where I'm going to use that one. And now this light gray here, I'm thinking of using this floral. That floral will be really pretty, and remember I said I haven't used it yet, and it has a pop of yellow in it, and I can bring a little bit more yellow down, and this one will have the yellow, will have this print as its little mini border, around the block. So like that. And I think that will just pull in nice and let me use it. But let's first look, because maybe we want something else. So the larger piece here, which is a square that will cut in half, I am thinking of this one because it has plenty of contrast. I didn't use it in the block next to it or above it, or even catty corner. It's only been used in a couple of the blocks. It's also used in the pennant part, but I think that's perfect. And then there has to be something pretty high contrast for these two triangles. So I think I can get enough out of here. I can get enough. So let's audition this down to a smaller size. So there you can see that is how that will look. Then out here, I think yellow. So pull the yellow again out here if I'm going to go with this. And let's see. Okay. If I did this, put the yellow out here, I think that is a great block. But what other options could I have? I could pull in a little bit of pink. I could put, now the apples are used right above, so I don't want to use the apples. I do have this pink, same fabric, but a pink background. So what happens, and I believe I don't know, there's not a lot of this. I would have to measure that carefully, but let's just look at it as an option. And so if I did the pink here, and then did the little little bow tie in there, and then out here I feel like it probably could use pink, to keep, there wouldn't really be, don't know that I would want yellow up there. Now that pink is super light, so it doesn't pop, and it gives a totally different feel than that does. It's much stronger. That gold, that yellow is much stronger. So I think I'm going to go back to the gold. I really like that. I really wanted to use this rose, this yellow rose. What is it? The Yellow Rose of Texas. Isn't that a song or something? Okay, so I'm going to cut all this up, and then I will just show you how to sew and then trim this unit here onto this unit, because it's just it's not different or anything. It's just something you want to know where you're measuring. And so I'm going to also show you how to sew this one, because we're dealing with a triangle piece and laying it on top of this sewn triangle unit, and you just want to be able to hit your points properly, and then how to trim it properly. Also remember that our ambassador Kendall over at his YouTube channel is also sewing the blocks, and he is walking through all the steps. So if you are interested in that, be sure you check out his video as well. Okay, I'm going to cut it up. Remember, for this triangle, you're cutting a 7-inch square. This whole unit is 6.5 by 6.5, but follow the cutting directions and you are doing a 7-inch square. And so I like to use my square rulers, my 12.5-inch ruler, and I have a salvage edge down here, so I need to trim that away. So I've got my 7-inch here, and then I will go ahead, just use the same ruler and cut this in half. Now you might like starching this if you feel like you want to. I don't feel like I have any problem with it, but there you go. These are the two units that we have. So here you can see how it's laid out. This part is super normal, squares and half square triangles. So I am just going to put them down here out of the way. So here we have, now these are doubled up, so I'm going to go ahead and make it a single layer of these blocks. Here we go. And so the first thing that has to be done is to sew a triangle here. Let me get closer. So there we go. So we're going to sew this triangle, and I'm keeping the bottom, the straight long bottom edge. That's what I'm matching up. I'm not trying to match the point. The point will hang over like this. See, the point will hang over. So I will sew from here to here first, and then press that open. So let me just do that. So now I have this piece sewn, and there's a little tag up there. I'm not worrying about that too much. Now I'm going to take this triangle, and once again, I want this straight edge here at that outer point, and then sewing right across. So we'll do that. When I do this, I make these so that they float. That's more than a 1/4 inch seam, so that means this triangle does not actually touch the black. It'll be a little bit of a float like this. It just makes it a little bit more forgiving. I like that effect, and it says all that in the pattern. Okay, so I'm going to put this on the right sides together, put these right sides together, but I'm not going to sew from this side because you're sewing blind. I want to sew from this side, and I will just be doing a 1/4 inch across, 1/4 inch across here, and just regular sewing like that. And then there'll be a little bit of trimming. Okay. So with a regular 1/4 inch seam allowance, and then when we get down to this intersection, what will happen is you will not be, here's the point right here, and we will be a little bit off, lower, so that triangle floats in the block. And I just think that's kind of fun and very forgiving. To trim this to size, you aren't trimming very much. You want to take your 6.5 inch ruler, take that diagonal and lay it on that seam, on this diagonal seam here, the dark seam, dark to light. When you lay it there, then you just sort of wiggle it along until you've got it, so you have the block under the whole ruler. And then you'll be just trimming off what is extra. It'll be a little bit, and then you could rotate it. You could use a rotating mat. You could just pick it up and rotate it. And now you know, like these two sides, whoops, these two sides you already trimmed, and you just need to trim the last two sides. So not much trimming. There we go, got through that seam. Okay, and the triangle part floats a little bit. You see, it floats. It's not just touching right down there. And so that's how, I know the diagram shows it touching, but in reality, it floats a little bit. So there you go. That's one part. Let me just put the whole block together. I love how the yellow rose turned out. It just is so good. It just gives it that little pop. And this one will also have the yellow little border around it. So my cozy quilts, there we go. Oh, so exciting to get to this point. So exciting. Next week will be the layout, and I will have a picture of this on my website today, so you can go over there and just see it, straight on. But I love these fabrics. I had so much fun with these fabrics. So let me show you what I got in the mail. Had a few little things. Had a beautiful card from Diane in New York. Look how pretty this is with the fall leaves. And she included, look how sweet, the little froggies. They are so darling. So darling. Thank you. And it is a New York kind of day because I have another card from New York, and this is from Kathy. Look how sweet. And she made me a spool doily. So this goes, she crocheted a spool doily, and you put that on the spindle and then the thread on top. So darling, so darling. And I have to show you something our ambassador Barbara sent me that it got shuffled and I didn't get to show you. But these are little, look how cute this is. See, I'm getting my own little collection of kitties. And you put it on top of your monitor, and then you could hang, you know, your glasses or headphones or something on the edge. So nice. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, ladies. All right, we have a few other things I want to show you today, and let's get to it. So I have been working on the Fat Quarter 4-patch blocks. So I have this many done, which is what, 8, 9, 10. So it's 10 blocks. It is a 4x5 layout using however many fat quarters are in that pattern. Let me get the pattern. So here's the pattern. It is free. That's a free pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop. So I just want to give you a status on that because I'm making these as I go along. It is such an easy thing. I've got all the rest of the fabrics cut. So they're all kind of stacked here, like I've got, there's a stack with the, there's a stack with the squares, and then underneath is a stack with, those are the red squares. And so I've got 2 sets of red, another navy, and 2 light blues to put into this mix, which means these shades, these light blues, and the reds are going to change the mix up of how that looks. Now the one that the Fat Quarter Shop did their sample out of, let me just pop that picture up here. Now that one, the fabrics aren't as high a contrast. You don't have those super lights and super darks in their version. And so you can see it makes a difference in how it will look. So it's kind of fun to do. For me, I'm basically working on the 9 patch. Whoops, there's got to sew one. So we're working on these 9 patches and then sewing it to the big huge squares, so that it goes pretty fast when I'm making other things. So that is sort of my sideline project for right now. And let me show you what else I did. I got the yes, I got the Oh My Stars with the black and white binding. Got the black and white binding on it. This is a Christmas one. This is a Christmas fabric from a few years back from my friend Christopher Thompson. See the black and white stripe. Just perfect. Perfect. Some of you recommended red and white. The thing is, red and white, you kind of want, unless you're not particular at all, reds, there's lots of different shades of red. So if you're going to go for red and white, you're going to need a red that's similar. Plus then the red is going to blend into that red border. And so that is why I went with black and white, because it's classic and there's black in this project. So cute. So cute. I have so many Christmas quilts. So many. At one point here soon, well, next year, I'm going to give away a stack of Christmas quilts somehow. Find a charity that would like to have a stack of Christmas quilts. So that'll be super fun. That'll be next year's project. They're all kind of, organized together. And speaking of Christmas, I am the person who puts up all their Christmas stuff the day after Thanksgiving. That's kind of been my deal. I don't want to rush it because my birthday's right around there and I enjoy Thanksgiving. But this year I'm really feeling like I would like to have my Christmas things up a little bit longer, because I'm also that person that takes them down right away, right after Christmas. I usually take them down 1 or 2 days after Christmas. It's all packed away and gone. I'm ready to have a refresh and not have all of that up there. So I'm thinking about doing that this week. I've seen a few of my friends have put theirs up and show pictures, and so I'm like, okay, I think I'm going to do it. That's just a little side note. Okay, we have a scavenger hunt today. Let me get something, hold on. It is recycle day, so we're going to combine our scavenger hunt with the recycle, and it's all about scraps. Now, many of you keep scraps and build scrap blocks, and so I'm hoping, so I'm going to give you two options for your scavenger hunt. Scavenger hunt here, once a month I give you something, a topic where you can share a picture over in my Facebook group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. If for some reason you are not on Facebook or can't get to it, it's a public group, you should still be able to get to it even if you're not a member, but sometimes that feature doesn't work. So just join, just come to the quilt group. If not, you'll have to just answer in YouTube, write text, because Facebook is the only place to show photos. Okay, what is it? Recycling. A couple years ago, what was it, maybe it was 2022, maybe it was last year, I sewed scraps all year, and I made 120 something scrap blocks out of all that I did. And I just thought it would be super cool. I'll just show you a couple of them here while I'm talking. I thought it would be super cool if some of you have also made scrap blocks and you haven't done anything with them, that you just show a picture of your scrap blocks, show a stack of it. I think that would be really neat to see. Or if you have not, you're just collecting scraps and you have not actually sewn them into anything yet, show what you have, show the scraps, show how they came together. See, like these things. They're not traditional blocks. They're just sewing all this stuff up to make these scrappy blocks. And I made one quilt, I think, from them so far. And I did basically half square triangles like this. So the other side was purple. And so I did use them. But okay, so if you have scrappy blocks, or these could be, which could be part center blocks, but I really like the ones you've made from scraps. So the whole deal today is just your scraps, not like a block that you made as a test block. So show your scrappy blocks that you have accumulated. This is definitely a project. I don't know if I'm going to be doing them in 2024. Maybe at some point I will reboot and do another one with these. I have one sort of thought thing, project that I had done with reds and whites that I needed to adjust, and it just stalled. I needed something adjusted and it just stalled. But these were the blues. These were the blue ones. Look at this. So fun. There's a little horse. It was so fun to make these. It was a deal. It was a deal to be making these. This would be make a cute pillow. Just a little pillow out of that one. I love that. Okay. Oh, coffee. Look at the little coffee can there. So fun to look back through them. Okay, last ones. Scissors, and there's a little bunny. Okay, so your scavenger hunt assignment today is to show your blocks you've made with scraps. And if they're in a quilt, hey, that's great if they're in a quilt. If not, if they're just blocks. And if you haven't done either of those things, but you have scraps, show us a picture of your scraps. Okay, we're going to go on and talk about high tea now. Here is high tea, which we will start on November 27th, right after Thanksgiving. So it is going to be so exciting. This is made with my drawing room. It is a fun quilt. We have a bunch of stars and this gorgeous chain, the effect, right? I love it. Using a lot of, most of the fabrics, it has the tans and the blues and the blacks and the browns from drawing room, using all of those. So fun, and everybody loves a star quilt. Now this is a kit, so you can pick up a kit at the Fat Quarter Shop made for this. The pattern is also available on its own, so if you've already bought some of my fabric and you want to just buy the pattern now, that's available. Everything is the links below in the description box under the video, where you click the more and open that up and look, or go to my website today. I love to make quilts, and it is the first article is our article for today, and there's links for that there. Plus it's on the project, it's on the new projects coming up, so it's got its own project page. So there you go. I'm going to take it out on the clothesline so we can see it, so we can see the whole thing. Okay, let's go. Here we go, over to see the high tea quilt. So you get to get a nice look at it from a distance. So pretty, looks so pretty. And let me show you the quilting. It's got this fan quilting that's all sort of rotated. That looks so nice. And then on the back is one of the wide backs for drawing room. Here we go. Look how pretty that is. Oh my goodness, you guys are gonna love these wide backs. They are so nice. Do you see Mr. Greg over there? Where'd he go now? He doesn't know I'm gonna film him. So he's over there. There. You can see where the lovely trash cans live. Okay. That's one last look. It is always wonderful to get to the end, to get to the last block. Last block of the whole thing. I hope you enjoyed this little floating triangle part. It's kind of fun, you know, makes it easy to sew. And remember to go and visit Kendall's channel to watch his videos that he does on the sew-alongs, because he's sewing the blocks. So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.